Hi, welcome back to Star Wars Insights. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, The Last Jedi is probably one of the most divisive movies of all time. It's a movie that's really split the fandom of Star Wars, where many fans love The Last Jedi and many fans almost despise it. And I want to explore why Mark Hamill. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, Mark Hamill also made a number of interviews, which I will link to. There's like a 30-minute video on YouTube where he has around 15 different interviews where he goes into detail about why he disagrees with the way Luke Skywalker was portrayed. And it wasn't just in America. For example, this was in Spain and this was in ABC News. So there was around 15 different interviews that he held where he went into detail about how he disagreed with the way Luke Skywalker was being portrayed. And many fans believe that he was trying to warn us. He was trying to say, The Last Jedi isn't what you expect. It's not how he wanted Luke Skywalker to be portrayed, and he believed that it's not how fans wanted Luke to be portrayed. And I want to go into some of the key points that Mark Hamill raised in those interviews. And again, I will link to them, so if you want to listen to those interviews yourself, you can. But it's about 30 minutes long, so I won't include them in this video. But the main point is that Mark Hamill told Rian Johnson that he fundamentally disagrees with the character of Luke. So it sounds like he warned Rian Johnson that Luke Skywalker wasn't the character that the Star Wars fans wanted. He also warned about a backlash because Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia don't physically meet. So Mark Hamill, from what he's saying, it sounds or suggests that he was becoming aware of a potential fan backlash or what was happening with The Last Jedi. Now, Mark Hamill also says that he changed the character Luke Skywalker into a different character called Jake Skywalker, and he says he's not my Luke. Now, Mark Hamill also suggested other ideas. He made these ideas where he's wearing a helmet and then he takes his helmet off and he saves Princess Leia's life. So from the interviews that Mark Hamill held, it sounds like he actually tried to improve the image of Luke Skywalker. And finally, he said that he was told that there's a new generation of Star Wars and that the history of Luke Skywalker does not suit this new generation. And based on the interview, it sounds like that was enough to convince him that he should play the character in the script that he was presented with. It sounds like he went through the process of saying to Rian Johnson and even maybe Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, that he wasn't happy with this, the way Luke was portrayed in the script. He then suggested other ideas which were rejected, and he was told that Star Wars is in a new generation. So he went ahead and played his role on the set and portrayed Luke Skywalker as the directors wanted. The reason is why he held these interviews, and the reason why he held these interviews and was so almost outspoken and very defensive was that Mark Hamill knew that there would be a fan backlash. He knew almost from the outset. For example, he said that when he read the script, he was shocked by the script. So Mark Hamill knew that there was going to be a fan backlash, and there has been. There's been calls for Kathleen Kennedy to be sacked. There's been calls from fans that Rian Johnson should never be involved in Star Wars again. And if you go online, there's many fans saying that they've lost interest with Star Wars and they have no intention of watching Episode 9, the final part of the new trilogy. So there has been a real split in the fan. Now nobody really knows. It could be a small percentage, and Episode 9 is very successful. But we don't really know until Episode 9 comes up. No one can really tell. But there certainly has been a fan backlash, and Mark Hamill knew this, and that's why he held those many interviews that he did. He held all those interviews trying to make sure that, and that's quite understandable. He went through this process of warning Rian Johnson. He went through the process of suggesting ideas. Then he was convinced that it's all about a new generation of Star Wars. But deep down, Mark Hamill knew that this wasn't going to work. That there would be a fan backlash. So he came out and made all these interviews to protect himself. And it's quite understandable. And the key point I want you to take away from this video is, if you are upset with Mark Hamill, I want you to understand that he did try to improve The Last Jedi, because he says that he made a number of suggestions. So he's quite constructive and it sounds like he went to the producers and the director and tried to help to improve The Last Jedi and tell them how the fans and how he thought that Luke Skywalker should be presented. And he kind of suggested he was rejected, that he was told there's a new generation of Star Wars. So if there are any fans out there that are not happy with Mark Hamill for whatever reason. I hope you can understand that he did try to improve The Last Jedi. Yes, he played the role, and he could have walked away, but it's not the actor's fault. He tried to make suggestions, and the reason why he held those interviews partly was to warn the fans, but really to make sure that he didn't suffer in the backlash. He doesn't want fans telling him that he's messed up Star Wars. That's why he put out these interviews. He said he warned Rian Johnson. He tried to suggest ideas, and he didn't want to suffer the backlash. He knew that the backlash was going to come, and it's just, the real frustration is that Rian Johnson and some of the other people like Kathleen Kennedy, and maybe even the head of Disney, didn't listen to him. They didn't listen to his concerns. If they did, maybe Episode 8 would have been different. I'm not saying it would have been better, I'm not saying it would have been worse, but it would have been different. And it would have been a movie that kept all the fans together, like Episode 7 did. Mostly Episode 7 was very well received, and it bonded all the fans together, whereas Episode 8 has done the opposite. It's really split. It's been like an earthquake, or splitting the fans apart. And Mark Hamill knew this was going to happen, and that's why he made all those interviews.